Here's an interesting whatnot from the fight. Out on the street, during the yelling and screaming, Cuddlebug was sitting on a ledge, and she took her scarf and she wrapped it around her throat and said, "I'm gonna choke myself to death." I did the worst thing possible, and I did apologize for it later, and I realized apologies after the fact are really still kind of too late. But emotions were running and the anger was happening, and we were all just in the moment. And as I said to her, it was also kind of a defense thing I did because it hurt to hear her say that. But I was like, that's what you want to do? Go for it. The thing is, it's actually a much more serious matter, because a few months ago, when she was having a problem with me and throwing things at me, she asked me why her mother and I why didn't you just abort me? I found out on this trip, and I wasn't supposed to, but I did, that she has tried to quit work, but they, I guess, talked her into 1 day a week. All I could get out of her was that it was because of her physical ailments. I asked during the fight. I didn't say anything until then. I heard it in the car. Sunshine screwed up and let it slip. What they don't know is I was watching in the rearview mirror because I felt the heavy hit the car as soon as it was out of her mouth. So I looked in the rearview mirror, and Cuddlebug was glaring at her. And then there was this very awkward silence until Sunshine tried to correct it and cover it. At least this week, right? So I asked, is her physical condition? So earlier today, a little after 8, it is now almost 3, I sent their mother a text telling her all of this and saying, our daughter is hurting physically, mentally, emotionally, and she is getting worse. And she's going to hurt herself sooner or later. She needs help. She needs support and love and understanding and compassion and encouragement. I have not heard a word back from her yet about this. She's either completely ignoring it, which is old school mama we're right back to. When there's a real issue on the table, I'll just ignore him. But she also probably spoke to Sunshine, maybe even called Cuddlebug, got whatever bullshit they were gonna pan out and let it go. Instead of, again, I don't understand why people can't just be adult and communicate. Like, she could even say to me, look, I talked to both of them and this is what they said. But no, just let it go. So whatever. If my daughter ends up dead, she ends up dead. What am I supposed to do? Nothing. There's nothing I can do. And then I think about the times we have spent together. My daughters have gotten more and more distant from me, and they have gotten meaner to me. Sunshine takes every opportunity she can to speak down to me, to point out all my flaws, every fucking mistake I've made, even the dumb, stupid little things I do, and I do a lot of them. And she'll bring stuff up from years ago. Well, you did this. She just loves to slam me. They both talk down to me. They both treat me like I'm stupid and I know nothing and I have no experience. So for whatever reason, I am a negative impact on their lives. I am a toxic impact on their lives. And it's not doing them any good. It's also not doing me any good, because let's be real, I deserve better treatment than that. I shouldn't have to face that all the time from people that I am giving nothing but pure love to. So I think now, like, if they came to me and told me about somebody that had this toxic presence in their lives, I would tell them to cut ties immediately. I don't know if they have officially made that decision. I'm assuming, since they haven't spoken to me since Sunday. Sunshine left here last night, never said goodbye, never said thank you for the trip. Her trip. I stressed and prayed over being able to do that trip for her for like 3 years. And I took advantage of my current homelessness situation to gather the funds to do it. And yeah, it went south, but I think it's still worthy of a thank you. It would have been the polite, respectful thing to do, even if you're mad at me. That's the other thing. My daughters say some of the most horrible things to me, and they have never once, ever come to me and said, Dad, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm being a little hard on you. Never once. I apologize to them for this stupid shit that comes out of my mouth all the time. So I think it's destiny. I think they need the break. And somehow that break starts to lead to their healing. Maybe they do need to see what life is without me. Like, unless we resolve things, and the only way that happens is to sit down and chat. I'm not doing any more of this pretend it didn't happen bullshit. Because it happened and it hurt. Day one done, I'm done. Bye. It's not that easy. I've had to zenitate and pray and focus to get to that point. And I'm not doing it out of hurt or out of any kind of spite. If you love someone, let them go. And I love those girls more than anything I have ever loved in my life. I'm talking like maybe this is all karmic, because the universe has many times tried to tell me to go somewhere else or do other things, and I have always, if it ever interfered with the girl, I always said no, they come first. I told you, again, in video I think you may not have seen yet, New Orleans literally tried to keep me. My van broke down the day I tried to leave. And I was very clear and adamant that that was not acceptable, that I could not stay there until after Sunshine graduated. So I have put my daughters even before God, which you're not supposed to do. So maybe this is the karmic kickback from that. I don't know. Nonetheless, I think maybe the distance will start their healing process, and maybe now they can really find themselves, and I just have to try to stay out of it. If you love someone, let them go, and let all that you do be done in love. This is the harder part, because I've had all sorts of thoughts, like I could say this, or I could do that, or I could be just avoid them this way. But maybe that sort of separation is just what they truly need. And there are my words. No spite, no ego, no emotion, no reaction. Let all that you do be done in love. And I love these girls. So if this is truly the best thing for them, I have to love it and just embrace it. And be as positive as I can about it, because they're the most important thing. In a way, I'm sort of relieved, and I said this to two people, and at least one of them said, why? Because now you can live your life for you? Fuck yes! Everything I've done for 20 years has always been motivated by them, trying to do better for them. I chose the homestead and paid an exuberant amount of rent for them. Now I don't have to. I can actually do for me completely, without restriction, without limitation, without anything anchoring, tethering, or holding me down. If I want to go to New Orleans to live, I can now. Because there's nothing keeping me here. I think I covered it all. Holy crap, so much. I'm so sorry that my life is so full of nonsense that I just ramble on and on. I do have two notes here, something about my daughters. I think too sometimes, I kind of get it. I really picked it up more with Sunshine several years ago. I think they're somewhat, it hurts to say, I think they're somewhat ashamed of me, embarrassed by me. I mean, the teeth situation, I'm always poor. I've been homeless. I'm homeless again. I'm not like your model citizen. And I get it. I get that. I went through a period where I was very embarrassed by my father. I hate to admit that, but it was true. Now, I was younger than they are now, but I did. Terrible thing to have to say. But it happened, and I could understand. I don't like it, but I could understand if they felt that way about me. I get that. Look at me. I get that. Now that's everything. I've touched on all the notes. I've done the props. I think I've done this right. I appreciate you all. Link is in the comments, and it talks about the weekend. Wherever you are and whenever you are, please like, comment, and share. We're on a journey, and it takes everyone to get there. So, without hesitation, for now and for always, this is your beloved Rev and Walt. Ooh, Doc! and Johnny. And those guys saying, stay tuned in, fellow travelers, and wishing you peace, love, light, and freakishness, baby. Out of here. All right, fine. What? You want to know the truth? Yes, are you hurt? I'm aching. I am so fucking dead inside right this minute. But I don't have a choice but to just brush it off and keep going. Because it's either live or die.